I am California of the past.
I am California of the past.
I am
California of the past.
My name is Kimiko Fujii. I was born and raised in Hayward, California. I was a sophomore attending UC Berkeley. I was thinking of becoming a nurse, but my brother-in-law, to-be, said, "Who wants to hire a Japanese nurse?" So I told him I had seen Japanese nurses, but I began to feel as though I needed to think of something else. I went with my family to Tanforan in May 1942 and was recruited to become an assistant activities leader. I remember my Hayward High School teacher, Mrs. Tillotson, somehow let them know I would be good as an activities leader. The War Relocation Authority realized that people needed to keep busy in the camps, and they organized recreation centers. The leaders were trained to provide activities. I was assigned about 14 girls. We called ourselves the Teenettes. I still have the bracelet they gave me. My responsibility was to teach the girls in various activities. We played volleyball against each other and even had a guest speaker who once talked to the girls about applying makeup. The instructors were young Japanese Americans who had worked at the YWCA and YMCA in San Francisco before internment. There were recreation centers all over the camp, maybe about 10. The campsite was good for recreation because of the racetrack and grandstands. People would get up early and take walks around the track and socialize. Everybody kept busy. My mother was so creative. She knitted, crocheted, and sewed us clothes by hand because we didn't have a sewing machine. Before, I only saw her as someone who worked at the family nursery and took care of the family. Now I saw a different creative side of her. At Topaz, my mother worked in the mess hall and took part in the activities the women did, as making flower corsages out of shells. I'm not sure what the men did other than work in food services and offices and janitorial, and did some wooden vases and furniture. In Topaz, I was in the PE department at the middle school level. When we were out with our groups, it was a little embarrassing because the young men working in the camp would call out to the girls. Our athletic supplies were limited, so it took some creativeness to keep the girls interested in outside activities. In the summer of that year, an American Friends Service Committee representative came to the camp and talked to all the young people who had come from colleges and had graduated from high school. The representative asked if anyone wanted to continue their education. My sister got a 4-year scholarship from Bennington College in Vermont. I wanted to go to the University of Utah, but their quota for Japanese American students was filled. So I went on to Brigham Young University for 1 year, and then on to the University of Wisconsin at Madison, where I graduated in 1947 with degrees in botany and art history. After the war, I returned to Hayward to work in my family nursery and later married Ray Isamu Kitayama.